Today I'm going to show you how to begin to make a dream catcher using a hoop. There are several different size hoops you can use. You can make them really small or you can make them as large as you want. And we're going to be using brass hoops. Traditionally in the Ojibwe Nation, they used willow, and they would take willow and they would strip it down and they would soak it, and then they would bind the sides into kind of an oval, and they would use that as their hoop. But you can use a brass hoop, and you can order these from an art supplier, or you could go to a thrift shop and you could rip the circle off of the end of an old lampshade. Works just fine. So you start out with your hoop, and this is a 6-inch hoop. So I'm going to use jute twine to wrap it, and I want to pull up an example of one that's already kind of wrapped. Jute twine is a natural plant fiber, so it's real scratchy and it has a kind of an odor. But people either use jute twine to wrap them or strips of leather. Either of those are fine and considered traditional. So I'm going to cut about 4 feet of the jute twine. And I'm going to get my Elmer's glue ready here. You're going to need Elmer's glue. You're going to need either a clothesline clip or a like a bulldog clip to hold it in place to start. So to begin wrapping the hoop with your jute twine, you're going to just go ahead and put about 2 to 3 inches worth of glue on the hoop. You don't want to do the whole thing, obviously, because it's going to get all messy. And the reason why I like to glue under my jute is because it's dry, and it won't unravel. This will prevent it from unraveling. So to start the hoop, I'm actually going to go backwards. So I'm going to lay about a ½ inch's worth of jute onto my hoop here, kind of backwards. You can see like the foot of it's going into the glue. I'm doing that so that I don't have any trace of the beginning of where I wrap it. So it's going to cover up my starting point. I'm going to gather up the jute in my hand, and I'm just going to tightly begin to wrap it like this, and this way you don't see that little tail end of frayed jute. You're just going to take your time and you're going to wrap it, going nice and slow so that it's side by side. This is one of those projects, just like the other ones that we've done, where your non-writing hand is going to be just as important as the hand that you write with and the hand that you work with, because you're going to use that hand to hold the jute in place to get it started and to pinch it in so that the coils stay tight. Now I'm taking my clip and I'm putting it on the starting point so that it gives it a chance to dry while I'm working with it and it doesn't start to unravel. Once that's dry, it'll be nice and secure. And you're just going to continue to wrap like this. And when you get to the end of your glue, you can see how I'm right-handed, so you can see how I'm using my left hand, my pointer finger, to hold it in place. And I'm just going to continue to wrap it. And if you find that you didn't cut enough jute, it's not a big deal. You're just going to start it the exact same way that you did at the beginning with a new piece. And you're going to go the whole way around. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do the whole wrapping of the hoop.